Hey, APUSHers, with 64 days left before the APUSH exam, this is what I would do to make sure that I was prepared. We've been going through the various elements of the AP US History exam writing, and today I want for you to really understand what you need to do for the thesis statement. So if you Google APUSH CED, course and exam description, and scroll to like page 528, you're going to be able to find the rubrics. And what you'll see when you look closely at the thesis statement is that it is the same for the DBQ and the LAQ. The thesis statement is one of the most essential components of your AP exam and of any writing really, because it's going to be the thing that states your argument. And so it's worth taking a couple minutes to really plan it out and make sure you've got a good idea of what you're going to try to argue in your essay. So the prompts that you're going to come across will either be continuity and change or causation. It could also be comparison, but the College Board has not done that for AP US History in quite a few years. So what you want to do is you want to determine what type of prompt it is, and then you want to brainstorm. So let's say you're talking about foreign policy in the 1900s and it's a continuity and change over time. You're going to brainstorm things like isolationism, imperialism, intervention in the world wars. You might think a little bit about expansion. And so you're going to start to come up with these specific evidence, and then you want to categorize it. If this is a prompt about how did foreign policy change, you can think, oh, it may have changed a bit, it may have changed a lot. And so you're going to start to separate your evidence into continuities, things that are staying the same, and things that are changing. Then you will figure out which side of the argument you have more evidence for. Maybe you have more evidence that there were significant changes in US foreign policy and less on continuity. So then what you want to do is you want to try to figure out two body paragraphs that cover changes and one body paragraph about continuity. Now that you have those topics set, then you're able to actually create your thesis statement. So then you're going to follow a simple thesis formula that leads to a complex thesis statement that ensures you get the point. So it's going to say, despite your counter argument, because of topic 1 and topic 2, then you give your argument. So in our example, we talked about how the continuities, there was less evidence for that, and that would be the idea of isolationism. So that's our counter argument. So you might say something like, despite some Americans remaining loyal to the idea of isolationism because of, then you're going to give your next two topics, because of imperialism and intervention in world wars, then you give your argument. The US foreign policy significantly changed in the early 1900s. So your argument piece is really simple. It's just basically answering the prompt. The prompt is something along the lines of, did US foreign policy change? And your argument was a really basic statement. Yes, it significantly changed. Why? Because of imperialism, because of interventionism. Even though, your counter argument, even though some people still wanted to remain isolationist. So see how that's a complex statement where you're including the counter argument, but you're stating that you believe there was a significant amount of change. This formula can be repeated for causation. It can be repeated for comparison. You just always want to state that counter argument first, give your topics, and then your argument. So today, March 7th, 2024, we are 64 days out from the APUSH exam, and today I want to make sure that you understand how to write a good thesis statement.